Many people feel hurt when they realize others are speaking against them, plotting behind their backs, or wishing for their failure. It can be deeply painful to know that someone dislikes you without reason or tries to damage your reputation or progress. Yet one of the most powerful truths a believer must understand is that no plan succeeds unless Allah allows it. Human beings may plan, strategize, gossip, or attempt to block your path, but Allah's plan always remains superior. What people intend as harm can become the very reason for your protection and elevation. Often, when difficulties appear suddenly, we assume something has gone wrong. We question why doors close, why relationships break, or why opportunities disappear just when we expected success. But Allah sees what we cannot see. A closed door may actually be a shield protecting you from hidden harm. A delayed success may be preparing you for something far greater than what you originally desired. Allah knows the unseen. Intentions of people around you, including dangers you never noticed. Sometimes He removes you from certain environments or distances you from certain individuals because their presence would eventually damage your faith, peace, or future. History repeatedly shows that those who were envied, opposed, or plotted against were often the ones chosen for greater purpose. Enemies unknowingly become part of Allah's divine system that pushes believers toward growth. Their criticism strengthens your patience. Their rejection increases your reliance on Allah. Their attempts to block you force you to turn toward new paths filled with unexpected blessings. What appears to be opposition is often divine redirection. When someone plots against you, remember that Allah is Al-Hafiz, the perfect protector. Protection does not always mean the absence of difficulty. Sometimes protection comes through the difficulty itself. Challenges teach wisdom, emotional strength, humility, and reliance on Allah rather than people. If life were always easy, many hearts would forget their Creator. Trials soften the heart and reconnect the soul with sincere dua and trust. Another powerful reality is that enemies reveal truths you might never have discovered otherwise. Through hardship, you learn who truly supports you and who only stood beside you during comfort. Allah allows certain situations to unfold so that hidden intentions become visible. In this way, even betrayal becomes a form of mercy because it removes illusions and protects you from deeper future harm. Believers are reminded that people may attempt to harm reputations through lies or accusations, but honor ultimately comes from Allah alone. No human being can permanently lower what Allah has decided to elevate. Temporary setbacks do not define your destiny. Allah may allow a moment of struggle so that your eventual rise becomes undeniable and more meaningful. Instead of responding with anger or revenge, the believer finds strength in surrendering the outcome to Allah. Trusting Allah's plan transforms anxiety into peace. You no longer feel the need to defend yourself constantly because you understand that Allah's justice never fails. What others intend as humiliation may become your greatest testimony of resilience and faith. Sometimes Allah delays exposing the truth because He is perfecting your character during the process. Patience, silence, and dignity in difficult moments carry immense spiritual reward. While enemies focus on worldly victory, Allah focuses on shaping your heart and strengthening your relationship with Him. The believer learns to walk forward without bitterness, knowing that every event, pleasant or painful, is part of a divine design filled with wisdom beyond human understanding. Every obstacle placed in your path can become a stepping stone when viewed through faith. The same situation meant to stop you may develop skills, opportunities, and spiritual closeness that you would never have gained otherwise. Allah's plan does not merely protect you from enemies, it uses their actions as instruments to refine your soul, elevate your rank, and guide you toward a destiny more beautiful than anything you could have planned for yourself. When a person is tested by betrayal, criticism, or unfair treatment, the natural human reaction is to respond immediately, to defend oneself, or to seek revenge. However, in the path of faith, patience is not weakness, it is a form of strength that connects the heart directly to Allah's promise of justice. Patience in difficult times is not about ignoring pain, but about trusting that Allah sees everything, hears every word spoken against you, and is fully aware of every injustice done to you. Nothing is hidden from Him, and nothing escapes His judgment. There are moments in life when people try to harm your reputation, limit your opportunities, or spread false narratives about you. In such moments, it may feel as though you are alone in your struggle. But a believer understands that Allah never abandons those who turn to Him in sincerity. When you choose patience over reaction, you are essentially handing your matter over to the one who never makes mistakes in judgment. Human justice can be flawed, delayed, or incomplete, but Allah's justice is perfect, precise, and always arrives at the right time. One of the greatest lessons in patience is realizing that not every battle requires your response. Sometimes silence becomes your strongest defense. When you rise above negativity, you protect your heart from becoming consumed by anger and bitterness. Revenge may feel satisfying in the moment, but it often leaves behind emotional damage and spiritual heaviness. Patience, on the other hand, brings peace, clarity, and dignity. It preserves your inner balance while Allah handles the outcome in ways far greater than human effort. The Quran repeatedly reminds believers that Allah is with those who are patient. This companionship is not symbolic, it is real support, guidance, and protection that manifests in unseen ways. When you choose patience, you are not losing your rights, you are placing them in the safest possible hands. Allah's timing may not match your expectations, but it is always aligned with wisdom. What feels delayed is often being perfected. What feels unanswered is often being prepared for a response far more impactful than anything you could achieve through your own actions. Patience also transforms the heart of the believer. It removes unnecessary stress, reduces emotional burden, and strengthens reliance on Allah. Instead of being trapped in cycles of anger and resentment, the heart becomes focused on faith and purpose. Difficult people and situations then become reminders to turn back to Allah rather than distractions that pull you away from Him. In this way, even painful experiences serve a higher purpose in spiritual development. There are times when Allah delays justice so that people will reflect, repent, or change. At other times, He allows situations to continue so that the believer's reward increases through endurance. Every moment of patience is recorded, and every tear shed in silence is known to Him. Nothing is wasted in the sight of Allah. Even when people think they have succeeded in harming you, Allah may be preparing a response that restores your dignity in ways you never imagined. True victory is not always visible immediately. It is not measured by winning arguments or proving others wrong in front of people. Real victory is when your heart remains firm, your faith remains intact, and your trust in Allah does not weaken despite pressure. When you hold on to patience in the face of injustice, you are aligning yourself with a promise that no human force can override. In life, one of the most overlooked truths is that honor and dignity are not controlled by people, but by Allah alone. Many individuals spend their energy trying to defend their reputation, prove their worth, or gain validation from others. Yet true status does not come from human approval. It comes from the one who created honor itself. When Allah decides to elevate someone, no force in creation can permanently suppress them. And when Allah decides to protect someone's dignity, no amount of false speech or opposition can erase their worth. There are moments when people may try to question your character, misunderstand your intentions, or spread incorrect assumptions about you. In such situations, it is natural to feel hurt or misunderstood. However, a believer understands that public perception is temporary, but divine judgment is permanent. People may form opinions based on limited knowledge, emotions, or bias, but Allah sees the full reality of every situation. He knows what is hidden in the heart and what is spoken in secret. Sometimes Allah allows misunderstandings to occur not as punishment, but as a form of protection. What people say about you may create temporary discomfort, but it can also redirect your attention away from dependence on their approval. When you realize that human validation is unstable, your heart begins to detach from it. This detachment is not loss, it is liberation. It frees you from constantly seeking acceptance and allows you to focus on sincerity, growth, and connection with Allah. True dignity is not something that can be taken away by rumors or criticism. It is a light that Allah places in the heart of those who remain sincere and patient. Even if people fail to recognize it immediately, that light cannot be extinguished. Over time, truth always becomes clear. False narratives eventually weaken, while sincerity remains firm. Allah's timing ensures that what is hidden will eventually be revealed in the most appropriate way. When a person relies on Allah for their honor, they no longer feel pressured to respond to every accusation or engage in every argument. Silence in such moments is not weakness, it is trust. It is an will. Acknowledgement that Allah is enough as a witness, judge and defender. Responding to every claim can often drain energy and disturb inner peace, but trusting Allah allows the heart to remain steady even in the face of confusion. There are many examples in life where individuals were wrongly judged or misunderstood, yet over time their truth became evident without them needing to force it. This is because truth has a natural weight that eventually rises above falsehood. Allah does not allow injustice to remain forever unaddressed. Even if it takes time, clarity always comes in a form that restores balance. At the same time, Allah elevates people in ways that cannot be predicted by others. Someone may appear unnoticed or underestimated today, but their sincerity, patience, and reliance on Allah may lead them to a position of respect and influence tomorrow. Human perception is limited, but divine wisdom is limitless. What seems small or insignificant in the eyes of people may hold immense value in the sight of Allah. It is also important to understand that dignity is preserved not only through external recognition, but through internal stability. A person who knows their worth through Allah's perspective does not become shaken by opinions. Their confidence is not built on praise nor destroyed by criticism. It remains steady because it is anchored in something unchanging. Even when situations feel unfair, the believer is reminded that Allah is never unaware. Every word spoken, every assumption made, and every action taken is recorded and accounted for. Nothing is lost and nothing is ignored. In due time, balance is restored in ways that reflect perfect justice, even if human understanding cannot immediately comprehend it.